Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Flame Swordsman deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that can easily OTK your opponent. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Again, your name, description, every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Fighting Flame Swordsman. This card is our main normal summon for the deck and is an awesome 3F in the build that has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a spell or trap card that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck to your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to send a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it from your deck or extract to the graveyard, except another copy of this card, which is a great effect to help us get our copy of our Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon, directly from our deck to the graveyard, so we can use its effect. We then play 3 copies of Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon. This card is an amazing 3-of in the build and just helps out so much in this deck. This card actually can be treated as an equip card, which is awesome. And while this card is equipped to a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, the equipped monster gains 700 attack points, which is an awesome ability. And if this card's in the hand of the graveyard, you can actually target a warrior monster you control and equip this card to that monster you control as an equipped spell, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Salamandra spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to help us search out our copy of Salamandra Fusion. We then play 2 copies of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. This card is definitely a 2-of in the build and just basically helps us summon this card out to our side of the field as a walking negate for this deck. Plus it comes out as a 3000 attack point monster, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Infernoble Knight Renald. Renald is really good as a 1-of extender in the deck and just helps out a lot overall in the build, that if you control a fire warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if it's summoned this way, it counts as a tuner. And if this card is special summon, you can actually target one of your other fire warrior monsters or an equipped spell that's banished from your graveyard and add it to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is an awesome effect. We then play 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. Fenrir is definitely a 3-of in the build and just helps out so much in the deck to help you break your opponent's board, especially since this deck focuses around just normal summoning out your copy of Fighting Flame Swordsman to your side of the field, so you can go full combo. This card is just a great free special summon that searches an additional copy of itself and is just an awesome board breaker to help you spot remove cards off the field. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of in the build just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is amazing in this build to basically just help you break your opponent's board, and it's an awesome card to be able to play in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is definitely a 3-of in the build to just stop your opponent's monster effects. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is definitely a 1 in the build to help us search out our copy of our Fighting Flame Swordsman. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave helps us out a lot in this deck to basically just stop our opponent from hand trapping us while going for all of our awesome plays. We then play a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is great because we have a couple of different targets in the extract this card can actually summon, but we usually summon out a copy of Flame Swordsman using this card. We then play a single copy of Fusion Armament. Fusion Armament helps out a lot in the deck as a 1-of because it helps us summon out fusion monsters from our extract, similar to the copy of Instant Fusion, just basically giving us more ways to summon out Flame Swordsman so we can go in for our main boss monster. We then play a single copy of Durandal. Durandal is basically an additional copy of Rhoda for the deck, as this card has the ability that while this card is equipped to a monster, you can add a level 5 or lower fire warrior monster from your deck to your hand, then destroy this card, which is a great effect to help us search out our copies of Fighting Flame Swordsman. We then play 2 copies of Salamandra Fusion. Salamander Fusion is a great 2-of in the deck. It is searchable in this build, but it lets you equip this card to a Fire Warrior monster and it gives it 700 attack points. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can destroy this card instead. Also, while this card is equipped to a fusion monster you control, you can actually send this card and the equipped monster to the graveyard. If you do, special summon a Flame Swordsman or a fusion monster that mentions it from your extract, and it is treated as a fusion summon, helping us summon out our copy of our boss monster, the Ultimate Flame Swordsman, which is a great effect to be able to instantly get your copy of your boss monster out on your side of the field using this card and a copy of the original Flame Swordsman. We then play 3 copies of Fighting Flame Sword. This card is such a powerful 3-of in the deck and is basically a Rhoda for the build. It has 3 awesome abilities, but you're usually just using this card as a Rhoda for the deck, letting you add 1 card from your deck to your hand that mentions Flame Swordsman except another copy of this card, or when an attack is declared involving a Fire Warrior monster you control, you can actually target 1 card on the field and destroy it, or when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it that you control, you can negate that effect, which is a really cool ability. We then play 3 copies of Flame Sword Realm. Flame Sword Realm is an amazing 3-of in the build and just such a powerful card to be able to use in the deck. This card has the ability your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal summon a Fire Warrior monster. Also, once per turn, you can send a monster from your hand or face it from field to graveyard to special summon a Flame Swordsman from your extract, and it is treated as a fusion summon. Also, once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, you can actually target a warrior monster you control, and until the end phase it loses exactly 1,000 attack, but all their monsters you currently control gain 1,000 attack points, helping you OTK your opponent by making your monsters absolutely massive. We then also play 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is really good as a 3-of in the deck, just to stop hand traps that your opponent might be using against you with the amount of hand traps we're playing in this build that we can actually counter. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Salamandra with Chain. Salamandra with Chain is really powerful as a 1-of in the build, and it is searchable in the deck because it's a Salamandra card. This card is really good to let you target a fire monster on the field and equip this card to it, and the equipped monster gains 700 attack points. Then you can change 1 effect monster on the field to face down defense position, basically just giving you a boost and being a Book of Moon. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to be able to fusion summon a Fire Warrior or Dragon Fusion monster from your extract by shoveling its materials from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck, but destroy it during the end phase, which is a pretty powerful effect to be able to use this card. We then also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is just really good in the deck as a 3-of to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 3 of our main boss monster, Ultimate Flame Swordsman. This card is insane and can get absolutely massive on your side of the field to help you OTK. This card actually has a really insane ability to let you target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. It's a quick effect if this card is equipped with an equipped card. Also, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can actually double this card's attack points until the end of the turn, but if you destroy it during the end phase of this turn, which is not that big of a deal because you're basically going to OTK your opponent with this card. Plus, it's really easy to be able to equip your copy of your Salamander to this card to make it even larger, and usually with this card you're going to get it to around 7,000 attack points to help you OTK. We then play 3 copies of the original Flame Swordsman. This card is our main combo piece for the deck, so you've got to play 3 copies of this card to be able to bring out to your side of the field, so we can step into the ultimate version of Flame Swordsman. We then play a single copy of Fighting Flame Dragon. Fighting Flame Dragon is really good as a 1-of in the build and just an awesome combo piece in this deck. This card has a really cool ability that, except during the damage step quick effect, you can actually target a warrior fusion monster you control and equip this card from your field or your graveyard to that monster you control as an equipped spell, and you only use the effect of this card once per turn, but also while this card is equipped to a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, it gives it 700 attack points and it can make a second attack during each battle phase, making it easy to OTK your opponent using this card and Ultimate Flame Swordsman. We then play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is just really good overall in the deck to basically just summon to your side of the field just in case you need it, and it's a really powerful card overall in this deck. We then play a single copy of Swarmship. Swarmship is really good in the deck to work with our copy of Bestower of Flames, because these cards just work really well since we're basically just playing fire in this deck. And this card is really good overall to be able to summon out to your side of the field so you can pop additional cards. We then play a single copy of Access Code because it comes out absolutely massive and it's just a great combo piece in the deck to be able to OTK your opponent, plus it can pop multiple cards on the field. We play a single copy of Selene since we are playing some spellcasters in the deck in the form of Effect Veiler. We can actually bring it back to our side of the field to step into a copy of Access Code. We then play a single copy of the Fire Charmer. Fire Charmer is really good in the deck overall as a 1-of, just in case you need to bring back an Ash Blossom to your side of the field, so you can step into Selene and then Access Code Talker, just giving us more lines for OTK. And play a single copy of SP Little Knight. You could change this card out if you want to for a more budget option like Nightmare Phoenix or Unicorn to be able to either spin cards off the field or pop spells or traps. We finally play a single copy of Alamirage. Alamirage is really good in the deck as a 1-of to be able to summon out to your side of the field just in case you need to normal summon out your copy of Salamandra to your side of the field. You can go into your copy of Alamirage, which is really nice. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Flame Swordsman deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try, and I even have combos on the channel for this deck for you guys to definitely check out to help you more understand this deck. And it's a really fun deck to help you OTK your opponent, and it's just a really fun, nostalgic deck overall. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.